Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about Fred V. Cherry. He was a POW in Vietnam. His he flew some combat missions in Korea, actually several combat missions before he went to Vietnam. He was with the U.S. Air Force, and he had retired as a lieutenant colonel and African American fighter pilot. And his plane got shot down in Vietnam, and he was a prisoner in the Hanoi Hilton. That's what they called it, and he was subjugated to a lot of torture, and his not just physical torture but psychological torture as well. We'll go ahead and talk about the physical torture. He was What the enemy did to him was they looked at his nails, and they would shove some small pieces of bamboo underneath these nails. But he lost. He At one point during his time as a prisoner of war, he was under 100 pounds, but he said he was never disgraced his country, and he wasn't going to sell out his country. And his captors would also give him a lot of African American literature, like Raisin in the Sun and some of the autobiography of Malcolm X, and try to tell him that America was a racist country, that he was fighting for a racist country, and that that the North Vietnamese were more friendly to him than the Americans. But Fred Cherry felt like he could not do that. So the next thing they did was they put him with a Navy pilot, Ensign Porter Halliburton. And he is from Caucasian guy, but he was not from the North. He was from the South. And they thought an African-American Southerner and a Caucasian Southerner were going to tear each other's throats apart, that was going to break both of them. But it actually didn't do that. It actually strengthened their bond. And they became good friends, and they, for the longest time, would go around until Fred Cherry passed away. He passed away last year. And they would go around to numerous schools and numerous organizations and things of that nature, and they would teach people that African American and Caucasian friendships can work, that they made their situation work as prisoners of war in Vietnam. And they still, up until Fred Cherry passed away, they remained friends, still remain friends. And Fred Cherry's wife at the time, had known he was alive. This is according to testimony from Fred Cherry's sister, known he was alive, but wanted to declare him dead so she could get the life insurance money. And then she started dating shortly after. But when Fred Cherry came home, was released as a prisoner of war, he had sued the Air Force for misappropriation of funds, and he got a lot of his money back. At the time, his wife knew he was alive, but she chose to move on, and I think move on in a disgraceful way, personally. But God bless Fred Cherry for your patriotism, for your toughness, for your ability to not hate. God bless you for all you've done. So, happy Vietnam Veterans Day to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.